Was Prince Charles jealous of Princess Diana? And is he a narcissist? Dear Victorians, welcome to another video. If you like what you see, I humbly request that you like and subscribe. Let's get into this. After watching the latest Netflix series, The Crown, it's become apparent to a lot of people, if you haven't known this already, that Prince Charles had a problem with Princess Diana. He was jealous of her, and he's potentially a narcissist. There are two factors which comprise of his potential jealousy. One, the fact that Princess Diana took him away from his true love, Camilla Parks. She had her nefarious intentions the whole time. The second is, and this is perhaps the worst of the two, that she was more popular than him. He was spoilt and weak, and he could not stand this. I'll get into these two factors and weave the context of his narcissism in both. Number one, Princess Diana took the spotlight away from him. This is probably the worst of the two, but Princess Diana was incredibly popular. She came from a middle-income sort of family. Not poor and quite wealthy, all things considered, but she was working as a daycare assistant and she was living in a flat with a couple of friends. So it's understandable the public sympathised with her. She was young and she was not experienced with dealing with men and some may say predators like Charles. And so the public took a liking to her. They saw the genuineness of her and that she wasn't putting on a facade. And for this reason, wherever they went, the crowd was always cheering for her. As you can see in this clip, this annoyed Prince Charles.
Everybody always said when we were in the car, "Oh, we're on the wrong side. We want to see her, we don't want to see him." And that's all we could hear as we went down these crowds. And obviously, he wasn't used to that, nor was I. He took it out on me, he was jealous. I understood the jealousy, but I couldn't explain that I didn't ask for it.
I've come to the conclusion that really it would have been far easier to have had two wives. To have covered both sides of the street. And I could have walked down the middle, directing the operation.
As you can see in the video, he was not only just jealous, it wasn't a passive jealous, he was actively jealous against her. He would criticise her all the time, question what she was doing. He even would make fun of and doubt her bulimia problems, joking that she would simply throw a bowl of food after she ate and it would go to waste. And where the narcissism comes into play is he wanted control. He wanted the benefits of having the approval of the royal family, who wanted a virgin, almost as a sacrifice similar to the Roman times. But he wanted that, and he wanted his mistress, the dreaded Camilla. He wanted both of them at the same time. One for the fans, for the royal display, and the other for himself. And he was angry that he had to choose only one. He was angry that Diana didn't want to be the quote-unquote display girl. So, what ended up happening, Diana stood up for herself and she got divorced. But he didn't make it easy for her. Number two, Prince Charles was jealous that Camilla was not accepted like Diana was. Charles was angry the whole time. Whilst he eventually accepted Diana and wanted the role play between the two, as I discussed previously, he was initially wanting Camilla to be the royal one. However, she was divorced. And more than that, people just didn't like her. The public didn't like her, and the royals didn't like her. Now, Diana had problems with the royals, but at least people like Prince Philip and there were some others who liked her. Camilla, it was obvious. She had clung her claws into the weak Prince Charles. Unlike his son, William, who was strong, Charles was a puppet waiting to be commandeered, similar to another person we know in the royal family, namely Prince Harry. Nonetheless, he always wanted her to be accepted, and she never was, and he took it out on her. Even in this video here, you can see that even on their engagement announcement, he was giving her the cold shoulder. Here, watch this.
Take me on.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Yes.
Well, it
You can
obviously
put your own
means,
interpretation.
obviously means two very happy people.
As you can see.
Well, from us, congratulations.
It's hard to imagine that the person you have announced you're going to be engaged to, who you're in love with, you're going to be married to, well, on the eve of their announcement of their engagement, says, when asked if they are in love, says, whatever love means. I can't imagine that myself. And Diana quickly answered, yes, she's in love. But he had to go on this poetic, nonsensical answer. Two things happened here. One showed that he thinks he is some sort of genius by giving this in-depth answer, which it was not. And two, he didn't care for Diana because he is a narcissist. Someone who was caring would not have answered that way. Even if they thought it, they would have had the decency not to embarrass Princess Diana like that on an open stage. But I do believe Prince Charles is a narcissist. And this also shows he was jealous. You can even see in the interview after he says that answer, his head goes down, his jaw locks up, he's angry. And why is he angry? Because he was denied Princess Camilla, the puppeteer master who took control. And to add injury to insult, what happened next, he got married to Camilla. After the divorce and after Princess Diana tragically died in 2005, Charles married her. And members of the royal family disagree. Some say even the Queen still holds a grudge against her. In my opinion, perhaps rightfully so. Some say that Charles should have been allowed to fall in love with Camilla, but she's not popular, and I think probably for good reason. What do the members of the audience think? Do you think Prince Charles is jealous? And also, do you think he is a narcissist? And lastly, do you think it was right for him to marry Camilla all these years after the death of Princess Diana? Thank you for watching this video. I humbly request that you like, subscribe. If you enjoy what you see, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching this video in these troublesome times.